How are you guys doing today? This is the second video I'm recording today. I may get them both uploaded today, I may not. Just depends on how long I can go before this brain fog just knocks me completely out. As you can see, just like in the last video, I've got my trusty notes here, so I make sure that I remember everything I'm supposed to say in this video. I know what I wanted to say, but my brain and my mouth are just not wanting to work together. Honestly, this whole week it's felt like my brain, mouth, body, none of it is working in conjunction with each other. They're all going in separate directions. So it's like, this is very, very frustrating. How do I get anything done? And that's why it's taken me a little bit to get to doing this. And honestly, I thought, well, I'm gonna wait till I get a lull in these awful symptoms, but that doesn't seem to be happening this week, and I don't know if I just don't have my salt intake where it needs to be, or what I'm doing wrong exactly, but this week's been pretty rough, so I hadn't really been able to drive or leave the house or do much of anything. Anyway, that said, that's not what this video is about. This video is going to talk about some things that I do physically, like physical activity, to improve my symptoms. And as you guys all know, anything can trigger a flare. Anything can set it off where you just can't do a thing. This is not, anything I say in my videos is not medical advice. Obviously, check with your physician before you do anything. But these are things that I use, and I do see improvement in my activities and my symptoms by doing so. I'm sure you guys already know that physical activity is extremely difficult for someone with dysautonomia, POTS in particular. I'm sure that's the case for other chronic illnesses as well. And so we have to figure out how to do it anyway, because what makes POTS and dysautonomia worse is deconditioning. If your body gets so far out of shape where you're losing muscle tone, you're losing muscle mass, you just sit all the time, then your symptoms are going to get far, far worse. So I've already done a video on other things that I use, like my salt and the glucose tablets and the compression socks and everything, to help with that. But this is kind of an expansion on that, just in the physical activity part. Upon first learning that I had dysautonomia, I started to research the best forms of exercise, because before this, I was working out every single day. I mean, I was lifting weights, I was doing P90X classes. I was in the best shape of my life before all of this happened. It was literally 5 days a week I was in the gym at 5 a.m. every day. And then I'd come home and get ready for work and go to work. Everything was just perfect. But then this happens. So I really want to get back to, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I really want to get back to being who I was. I want to go back to work. I want to go back to the gym every single day. I want to build back up to that strength. So I started researching just how can I exercise with this. This is so draining, and I hurt, and I can't breathe, and my heart feels like it's going to burst, and like, what am I supposed to do? So I started researching. I read articles on Google, medical research, scientific journals. I talked to other POTS patients on Facebook and, the different Facebook groups and stuff. And I really learned a lot from people who already are suffering from the illness, more so than I did anything else that I read. But the first thing I actually came across was the Levine Protocol. There's a pretty detailed outline online for the Levine Protocol, and basically it just starts you slowly, tells you what types of exercises to do, because especially if you want to go to the gym and do them, you can do modified versions of them in your home if you don't have a gym membership or just can't drive or what have you. Like, I can't drive every single day. There's days I get up and I can't even walk, much less drive. So that's not an option for me. But there are modifications. Anyway, this is about a 20-page paper, basically, on the Levine Protocol, which is starting really slowly. Like, for the first 4 months, you only do a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, I believe, of exercise a day. And you're doing things from the floor, like recumbent bicycles or rowing machines or swimming. You can do swimming. I don't have access to a pool to swim in, so unfortunately, even though it's the best form of exercise, it's completely out of the question for me because I don't have access to one. But anyway, it gives you a step-by-step guide. And if I went over the whole thing with you guys, we would be here all day. And I don't think you want to do that. Plus, I mean, just listening to me talk and read the Levine Protocol would be like listening to the Clear Eyes guy. Our solar system has 9 planets. Nobody wants to do that. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. But there is a link in the description that will give you that 20-page report on the Levine Protocol with step-by-step instructions if you are interested. Personally, though, I do a combination of things that I pulled from that Levine Protocol, but modified it using resistance bands. With my resistance bands, which I did purchase on Amazon, and there is a link below in the description to these. I really like these in particular because you'll see they're really long, they're really wide, they have different resistance depending on the color. And what I like about them is you get these and you can use them like loop bands. So instead of buying a set of loop resistance bands and then another set of ones that have the hooks on the end, if you wanted the hooks on the end, you could just tie them down here, give yourself a hand hold or a foot hold. Or if you wanted the loops, you could tie them to whatever size you wanted them to be and use them in that manner. I've done that with this one. I have different sizes. See where I put the knots? It just depends on what it is I'm doing, on where I tie them and what I'm working out at that moment. So anyway, that's what I use, and this one's tied up to use to as a overhead. So I really like those types of resistance bands, but again, it's totally up to you as to what you would want to use. I do know that these help me out quite a bit. I can do a lot of strength training from the floor where I don't hurt myself if I do pass out. Because to be honest, the first time I tried doing any kind of activity, I did faint within the first 3 minutes. But I was already in the floor, so I did not hurt myself, so that was great. And I've built up stamina since then, but I'm still building. I am nowhere near where I used to be, and don't know if I ever will be, but I'm trying. And I do notice an improvement in my symptoms when I work out. That being said, I'll put the link in the description again for these from Amazon. They're awesome. I do this 3 times a week because it's very important for someone with POTS, especially with the blood pooling and whatever, to strengthen their core and their leg muscles to keep that blood flowing. So I also do a lot of like sit-ups, Russian twists, side crunches, planks, things like that to work on my core. The next thing I do is yoga. I also do that 3 times a week. I do it for a couple reasons. One, because it's an excellent strength builder, on top of which it helps to manage stress. And as you guys probably know, stress is not the greatest when it comes to POTS symptoms and POTS patients and dysautonomia. You don't want that adrenaline flowing and making your symptoms far worse than they already are. So yoga is very helpful for me. And as I said before, when I was researching what the best things to do for someone with dysautonomia when it comes to physical activity, I found a wonderful person named Amy Iverson. She's in one of my Facebook groups, and she and I are collaborating on this video because she is a a POTSI, just like the rest of us, and she also is a certified yoga instructor as well as a meditation teacher. So I wanted to introduce you guys to her, let you know that I have followed her videos. They are very informative. They're very easy to follow. She has a very calming, soothing voice, which of course is very beneficial for keeping your anxiety down. She practices restorative yoga, which helps to restore their body's balance. And she can tell you more about that than I ever could, but I loved it. She's absolutely amazing, you guys. So I now do this 3 times a week. Also, she taught me about meditation. Using meditation to basically center yourself, ground yourself, kind of push the world out and keep calm and keep your inner peace. And, that's very, very important when stress can play such a huge role in how you feel when you have dysautonomia or POTS, and really any chronic illness. Stress can trigger a lot of things, even if you're not ill. So I would recommend meditation regardless of your illness status. So anyway, Amy has recorded a little message for you guys that I'm fixing to let you listen to. And behind that, I will link her videos to meditation and to her yoga. And you guys can start following her and practicing with her, because I believe you'll see a difference if you do that.
Hi, my name is Amy Iverson, and today I want to talk about POTS and dysautonomia, what it is, and also some ideas of things that could help reduce some of the symptoms of the condition that we have. POTS and dysautonomia deals with the autonomic nervous system, which is the body's autopilot system of regulating literally everything. For us, unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. Our blood pressure, heart rate fails to adjust, going from a prone to an upright position, which also creates low oxygen to the brain. There are some theories to what the cause is, which include head traumas, accidents, physical abuse, falls, etc. Other possible causes may include emotional stresses, such as PTSD, physiological reactions to cause overproduction of adrenaline, which to include is overthinking. We as the patients go through so much. Really, it takes a toll physically and mentally. We can have an okay day to the next minute having complete brain fog, dizzy spells, blackout fainting, jelly legs where they just give out, or maybe our hands and our feet just turn purple-blue for no reason at all. Even simple things like drinking fluids. For a person who does not have our condition, the autonomic nervous system automatically closes the epiglottis. And for us, as the POTS patient, it may not close on our throats, which is the kind of went down the wrong pipe situation where we could choke, and that's just with water or anything like that. Another issue is we can't regulate our temperature. Sometimes our heart will just have palpitations even in our rest mode. Some days just everything just hurts. Things may not look swollen, but they just feel like it. Our condition is still quite the unknown. Doctors are still trying to figure out what can help us. Honestly, just being diagnosed correctly is a huge milestone. This is usually done with the tilt table test for the formal diagnosis. And after that, the real fun begins. Because there is so much of the unknown about the conditions, a lot of doctors will tell you, you just have to figure it out. Some people need to increase their salt intake for keeping the blood flowing properly and helping the blood pressure. Some need to cut out all gluten. We all need to stay very hydrated, and I do know electrolyte drinks are also highly recommended. Oh, and I have come to recently find out that compression socks may also become your best friend. Even though there is so much research being done to figure out all of this stuff, we have a long way to go. Luckily today we have things like Facebook and YouTube for extra support and help, or just learn more of what we have from what others in our same situation have. And this is not just for us as patients, but for our family and friends as well. So with all of this being said, and me myself, a patient, I'm offering my help with what I do know and what helps for me. I am a certified yoga and meditation teacher. I do have over 20 years experience between practicing and actually teaching. I do have an emphasis, which is the yin yoga and restorative yoga, and that is the type where it is a be still and calm the mind style. My goal is to help get people into the present moment, not thinking of the past or the future, but just be in the now. You cannot change the past. We do not know the future. We should not have fears of the what if monster and the what happened 5 minutes ago ruined 5 minutes of the future. With POTS and dysautonomia, any triggers of stress, anxiety, or fear is not good, and if we can manage those, manage the adrenaline production, keep it under control, this is huge. There are different outlets, even just to distract the mind. Yoga, meditation are two good creative outlets. Even listening to music or watching TV, maybe not so much drama or the news, but these are all temporary distractions to just not focus on what our ailments are. Yoga is extremely helpful for stress. It is a key to finding your inner peace and releasing oneself. And it is very positive for both you or your support person, loved one, friends. Acupuncture is also known to help as the needles create new signals that help rewire brain, releasing the stuff that reduces stress. There's massage and also meditation. You can, even if it's 5 minutes worth, however long you can do this, it helps to refocus the self, calm the breath, and it de-stresses you so much. It's just amazing. With this, I will be sending out videos of different types of meditations with different hand gestures, which are called mudras. Like I said, try it for 3 to 5 minutes to begin with and see how long you can take it. If you have an episode, you can do that anywhere. You can be standing, sitting, laying down, anywhere. Also, I'll be throwing out some yoga videos that really helps reduce the stress and episodes of POTS and dysautonomia. So I hope you enjoy everything, and some of this hopefully has helped you, and I look forward to sending more stuff out to you. Thanks, guys.
That's all for today. And again, my next videos are probably going to be based off of different suggestions I've gotten from other Potsies. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about, anything that bothers you, that you would like to see addressed, both from my perspective and from the perspective of my husband slash caregiver slash solid rock, whatever you guys need, I want to talk about it. I do this for you. My husband does this for you and for your support system. We are trying to raise awareness. We are trying to raise compassion. And we want there to be an outlet for all of this. So please, if you have any questions that you would like addressed or any issues that you face on a daily basis that you think people should know about when discussing dysautonomia or POTS or chronic illness in general, just please comment below, and please subscribe and like my videos and share with your friends. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.